That's you, dog, right there.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, hey, welcome in, welcome fam to another edition of Cat and Dog. We got all kind of names right now. This is this is Real Talk with K and J. Real Talk every Wednesday. Give it to them Wednesday. That's what this is. This is Real Talk with K and J. I am Sherry Simmons. Hey. I am Jay, aka the dog. Jocelyn is in the building. I am Jay, aka the dog.
Cat.
And we're back.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. So we had a spirited conversation last week centered around thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you. Please like, click, and share. Like, click, and share, please. Centered around masculine women with masculine energy. But not to, and hey, Nisa artists in the building. Come on in. Make sure you invite your friends. Like, hit share before we get started on this wonderful piece of comment. Rita White. Hey, Rita, what's going on? That's Kinfolk. Kinfolk in the building.
That's my cousin.
Yes, Johnson, we had a conversation last week.
So you know that this week,
we're going to get on into this good old topic. Dante, what's going on, brother? Nice to see you. Dante Miller's in the building. Nice to see you. So we're going to go ahead and start this conversation off by creating the topic or mentioning the topic. Today's topic is peace or peace. What are you? You know I shared. They just not ready for the real. They don't know me.
That's okay.
Well, we know we got a lot of people from the back. We got a lot of people that watch from the back.
We appreciate the share. They'll catch you.
They'll catch us later. So a piece is a piece. If you look at that, are you a piece as in?
Mm-hmm.
You could be a side piece. You could just be a piece of meat. You could just be a piece for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why go to Popeyes and get a 12-piece and you only get one piece? Or are you the piece, as in P-E-A-C-E, as in calm, reliable, comforting, and all of that? Okay, Jocelyn says, I'm at peace with myself.
That's a wonderful thing.
So, and this topic kind of spun back around. Over the weekend, we had a nice break and a little vacation. with some amazing couples. All Black Love was in the building. And one of the viewers actually paid tribute to his wife. And in the tribute, he said, "She is my peace and my peace."
She's both.
Which is a nod to kind of what we've been saying. So we decided to run that thing back so people can understand why we say, "Are you a piece or a piece?" So let's take the journey, right? The journey is we're getting ourselves prepared. We've worked on ourselves. We're now in a relationship. And we have to determine what it is that we want to be or who it is that we want to be in this relationship. Do we want to be a piece of the relationship? Or do we want to have peace in the relationship? So I'm speaking on the piece, of course, the piece of pie, the piece. Yeah. I called it off the jump. So sometimes you get in relationships and you want a relationship so bad. You want to make sure that things work. And you want to make sure that you love and all of your needs met. But you never focus on what is your status in this relationship? How does your gentleman caller or your female friend treat you? Do they treat you as if they're equal? Do they treat you as if they're loved ones? Or do you come out of that conversation saying, "Man, we be having some bomb sex, though we be getting it in," but you have nothing else to offer, right? Are you an indentured servant? Does he or she think that that's all you should do is go fetch, go here, go there? Where is the joint process? Where is the part that you no longer become a piece of a puzzle? And it may not be his or her puzzle, it just may be a piece of a puzzle. And where do you fold and come and bring yourself into bringing peace into the relationship and being one that you can sit down and talk to? Being one who, inquiring minds want to know, be one that can talk to, be one that you can receive those feelings that we've all said in all of these other lives. I just want somebody to talk to. He needs to communicate. Okay, are you the person who can receive the communication? Can you smell what the rock is cooking when he coming to the table? Can you, when he brings his heavy load and his weight, are you there to listen, understand, support, reciprocate, give advice to? Or are you just that person that's there for the moment and you just in to get your little thigh on and then you disappear and you wonder why you don't have a relationship? Because you have the piece that you're putting in is a piece of your body, but you are not putting in the piece that's within you to nurture that relationship. I'm gonna pass the mic before I get started. Just say.
And it takes peace to nurture a relationship. That's one of the, like, for me, that is one of the most important things about being in this space, in this house, is to have the PEACE, the peace. I get all the other stuff out in the world. So when I come home, I'm definitely peace. But as we have grown together and matured, and since we, all of that, I'm both. I'm his both pieces. I'm both of those. But it's at points. It takes time to get to that. Sometimes it start out as it is only you're his piece of whatever. When he can call you at midnight, when he can come over after the kids go to bed, that's the only piece.
Sherry Berry, hey.
That's the only piece that you are to him, because you can't offer him the other piece. You can't be the calm to his chaos. You can't be all the other things, because what's the word for it? That is your title, is to be his piece. And some people are in exclusives where you're the only one that's dealing with him, and that's the only one that you're dealing with. That's the only one that you get your piece from, is this one particular person. But on the flip side of that, it's like, what is, when you need somebody to talk to, when you need somebody to lean on, to confide in, when you need somebody to wipe your tears away, who is your piece? Of course, you need to be at peace with yourself. There's a lot of things that we need to settle with ourselves, let stuff go, forgive people, walk away from situations and people. We've talked about that before. All of those things bring you peace. Like Jocelyn said, I'm at peace with myself. Whether I'm with somebody or not, you need to be at peace with yourself. But if you're involved in with somebody, you definitely need to have a space of calm. Everything doesn't need to be chaotic all the time. I mean, if you're getting your peace from somebody, then hey, you be wild as you want to be, or do whatever it is that the two of you do. That's your business. You mind your own self business, right? What's that?
Exactly. Can you call on them or the way you jump for them?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Come on, Jocelyn.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
Somebody has studied their lessons. Somebody has studied their lessons.
Ooh, I like that, Jocelyn. Yeah. I like that one. I like the way you said that one right there.
So I think when we look at it, Miss B, we about to get a little I can feel the organ warming up, Miss B, so you might want to get that ready. I can feel the organ warming up. Somewhere we're about to open the book. I can feel it coming, Miss B. We're about to open the book. Not quite.
Okay.
But the book is coming. Here's this big picture. Why do I struggle at work? Or why would I struggle at work? Deal with the work issues, deal with all of the issues of the family, the dynamics, deal with the pressures of the job, to come home and not be able to relate and release in my own home. Keep the entanglement is to yourself. I need more than a peace. Peace of mind beats a peace. You know the rest. There you go. There you go. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, Jocelyn. So, if you will, turn with me to the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 2 and 3. The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verses 2 and 3. He or she who accepts the role of a peace will probably never find the peace that he or she is looking for. So we're going to rewind that for the people in the back. He or she who accepts the role of a peace will probably not find the peace that he or she is looking for. You can't accept the role of I'm your 12 o'clock, 12:30, 11:30 when the children come to bed role, and then think that in a relationship, that same individual is going to turn around and be that 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock to help deal with your issues when you get off work. Because you've already set precedent and said, this juice over here ought to get good around 11, 11:30, 12 when you can come over. Or go to the club. I'll see you after. Barnes and Noble sold out of Galatians. Can you send me that one? I will send you the book. We're gonna start putting verses together. Might have to do a little mini book. Here's where I want people to think inside of that relationship. When you're building a relationship, if you have established that that's your process, and single ladies, I'm not taking away from them. Single ladies, y'all got stuff to do, right? You got to build a house, keep a house, do a house. You got children to run. Somebody playing soccer. Somebody playing basketball. Somebody's doing this. Somebody's doing that. And the only person there is you. But here's the trick. All the time that you're doing it, what are you saying to yourself? I sure wish I had somebody that could help me. I sure wish I could have somebody that could relieve some of this pressure, that could take the sons. Hey, Tracy, who could take the sons to the game? Who could do this? Well, you don't need to interject that you're just going to be a piece. Don't display that you're just going to be a piece, as in a piece of tail, when the only time you want to pick up the phone is after 10:30, 11 o'clock. You can't run around and then expect to build a relationship at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Because there's a couple of things that men decide we're going to do. We may decide to wait on you at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Or we may decide to find somebody else that answers the phone a little early. See, me, I want to be in my own self house at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So the lady that answers at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock will always beat the lady who answers at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. That's because you probably like second in line. Because we've tried all of the options and we've done all of the things. Speaking from experience way back, nothing to do with now, but yes, you got a 6:30 woman, you got an 8 o'clock woman, and you got that one that don't care what time she calls, so you call her after 11:30 because she's always with it. Oh, Miss B, yeah, we putting the foot in on somebody right now.
Ain't nothing open after midnight but legs and hotels. Ain't that what grandma used to say? Well, my grandma used to say, ain't nothing open but midnight. Like if he can't call you before midnight, then he don't expect for nothing to be open. There's no restaurant to take you to. No, you ain't whining and dining at midnight if he only calling you after midnight. Ain't nothing open after midnight but legs and hotels.
Yeah, I know that's what she said, Miss B.
That's what my grandma.
That's what both of my grandmas said.
I heard my grandma say that. Ain't nothing open after midnight but legs and hotels. That's it.
That's it. So, ladies, the question is, how do you set yourself up in the relationship? How do you set yourself up? A real man, I mean, I proclaim, and profess to be that. A real man knows that the control of the relationship ain't me. The control of the relationship ebbs and flows through whom, Ms. B? Through the woman. They have miraculous powers that would make you buy things, purchase things, do things that you said you would never, ever, ever do. For all of you R&B lovers, Rihanna said it's the power of the what? Of the punani. If you have the power and you accept the power, you receive the power, and you know that that's what it is, then handle yourself and present yourself accordingly. Present yourself accordingly. But if you are opening the door and giving me the option to call Jocelyn at 12, then I might call Jocelyn at 12. I might call at 12:30. Somewhere Jocelyn said, oh, just call me, I'll be up. There you go, minimizing your status, your place, and your role. Pop. Don't say it and don't understand the precedent that you're setting. And then what happened, ladies, is we start crying and we start hanging out with Keisha them. I don't know why they treat me like this. I don't know why I can't find a man. I'm gonna let Trina take over from that point.
It's the point of it's in your presentation. You the package. How do you present your package? How do you, like you said, if you say, just call me anytime. That means after he's done everything else that he wanted to do during the course of the day, the evening, the early hours, she have done everything that they wanted to do. You said it was okay, just call me anytime. Like you said, I'll be up. I got anytime. So that means he's worked, he's entertained, he's done everything else that he wanted to do. Absolutely, you are. But if you give somebody the option to make you not be the catch, and then you accept that, then it's like
you are be saying, Jocelyn. Then you are the last thought on their mind.
Absolutely.
You the last thought. You right.
You are the last thought on their mind. It's like, okay, and then maybe their other options were unavailable on this particular day, and you answered the phone. Guess what? Here he is at your house at midnight. You ain't got no peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of soul. You the other piece. You that piece of he like, okay, let me just go and get this little nightcap and go and knock her on down. We just gonna keep it real. Let me go and just knock her on down. She'll be good until the next time. He's entertained everybody else during the course of the day. He's done everything. He's made use of his time in the way that he wanted to make use in it. And then you answered the phone. Now you became the piece of whatever he needed you to be. You were available. We have to understand, like you said, we are the prize. We are the catch. We are the ruler of with everything that we have and we own, but we present it in the wrong fashion. We give away our powers. We give them away.
Yeah, I appreciate that. They saying amen.
We give away our powers. We allow somebody else to say, okay, you know what? I ain't even worried. She'll answer. Because you told him you would. And he tried the first couple of times just to see if you would, and you did. Guess what you did? You set the precedent for how he gonna treat you. You set the precedent for when he gonna call you. You set the precedent for anything that he thinks that he wants to do with you or for you. It's gonna be after midnight. It's gonna be late in the mid. It's gonna be when it's dark outside. How do you make yourself available for somebody that can only see you when it's dark? You are the piece of whatever it is that they need. If it's sexual, if they just need to, just have a little small little conversation with somebody, have a late night drink. You said, okay, that's me. I'll accept that role. Just to have a piece of you, I'll accept that role. You don't got to give me all of you. You don't got to give me the full of you. Just I'll take that little piece of you. You've given away everything that you had. You gave your power to somebody else. Now you over here, like you said, during the E, like, man, I wish I had somebody to go out to dinner with. Man, I wish I had somebody to help me with such and such. Man, I wish I had. You gave your power to have that away. You have the power to have all of those things, but you gave it away to be a piece for somebody that was like, okay, I'll take that from her.
And men, we gonna get on some men too, because we do it. It's always both ways. So how is it, men? The devil is a lie. Don't work like that here. So here we go, men. So we can't find no woman. Ain't no good women out there. They for all the women I met. They for everybody. They for the city. They for the streets. Got me smoking out the window. Well, why are you smoking out the window? Because you playing the game. You just not happen to be good at it. Okay. Don't be mad that you play the game. Don't be mad that I call Miss B at 12 o'clock and Miss B answer some nights, and then some nights she decide not to. And you over there in your emotional feelings and train wreck because you wonder if Miss B, instead of it's J over there, it's D over there. So the game works both ways. We all mad and in the uproar and jealous and talking about there's no black women to love and there's no women to love and they ain't no good. What did you present for them to be good? Case in point. If I call you at 11 o'clock, where am I taking to you? Where am I taking you at 11 o'clock? I want somebody on the screen to tell me all the places that you want to go that's open at 11 o'clock. I'm going to wait, 15, 20 seconds.
I don't want to go to Cookout. I don't want to go. I don't want to go there.
Most people don't want to go to Waffle House. When they go to Waffle House, you go to Waffle House because there's nobody else's house open. So I still didn't see where anybody wants to go anywhere. They want me to call you at 11:30, 12 o'clock and say, let's go out. Where would you want to go? Taco Bell, McDonald's, Waffle House. And the church said, so if I'm calling you at 11:30, 12 o'clock, and there's nowhere for me to take you at 11:30 and 12 o'clock, the 6 to 12-hour drive to vacation, if not catching me when the sun comes out. Wendy's.
Yeah. But right in our area, since the pandemic, most of those places close at 8 or 9 o'clock around here. And then all the restaurants, most of the restaurants in our city, they ain't even open on Mondays. They ain't got nobody to work. They close at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. They're not even open. There's nothing around here open. Cookout, if you're familiar with Cookout, if you're on the East Coast or whatever, and Waffle House is probably the only thing open in our city at that time of the night.
Oh, and Sheets.
Well,
You
yeah.
can go to Sheets.
Yeah.
Here's my point that I'm trying to make. There's not a place that you two can go and have conversation, relaxation, enjoyment at that time of the night. So what happens? The good old Sly Fox called and said, well, the only place she can invite me to is her house or my house. So we can go over there and cook some scrambled eggs, and maybe we can scramble something else. Again, the intention for a man is we got to find our mate. And in order to find your mate, partner, you need to take her somewhere. Because what was important to me, finding this one right here, you got to be able to know how to act in public. You got to be able to go to a steak restaurant, and you got to be able to know how to cut a steak. What's up, Cliff? You got to be able to know how to cut a steak. When the invitation says evening wear or after 5 wear or formal or semi-formal, don't you come in here with the dress with the see-through holes in it. I need to know that you know how to conduct yourself and handle yourself accordingly. That was important for me. You know, let's be real simple. How do you know the difference between the salad fork and the regular fork that you eat with? Does anybody know the difference? Do you know the difference between the steak knife and the butter knife? And how to read the menu when you talk about script. If it let me know, Tasha says, "Hey y'all, all in my phone. What's going on?" And you out there are trying to order for let me know because you don't know what it is. I do. She said, "Yes, sir." You over here at Olive Garden, think you ordering something. I'd have the minestrone soup. And the man said, and the waiter said, "What? The minestrone." He said, "Honey, that's minestrone." People, we got to get to a point. How do you know the level of the lady you're with if you never take her places to even evaluate that? So you just gave your lady out at that point. When she says, "Baby, I don't know," or "I'm not comfortable in that setting," then we start and we educate at home before we go out. But what you're doing then is creating a bond, right? There's a give and take, right? You giving, she's taking. She's taking, you giving. And eventually you're able to go out, and that's a sense of accomplishment. Please and thank you.
And it's one of those things where, like I say, we know everybody wasn't raised the same. We know that, and we still know that there are adults who have not taken time to learn things that adults, take time to learn when you don't know. But some people don't. Some people really don't know. But if you're willing to learn, which learning should never stop. I don't care how old you are. There's always something for you to learn. There's, like you said, that creates it's a conversation, not to make you feel less than, not to make you feel any type of way, but other than this is how interested I am in you. And this is where I want to take you. And these are the things that happen when we go these places. There are some people who have never been to a 5-star restaurant or to a whatever the situation is that you may want to take them to. So it has to be where we're comfortable enough to have a conversation where I'm saying, "You know what, baby, I don't think I've ever been introduced to such and such." There are such things as etiquettes when you go certain places. There are such, but that should. It shouldn't it shouldn't be done to make you feel less than. It shouldn't be done to make you feel any type of way other than to show you that this is what I'm willing to do because I'm interested in you. So let's talk about this. Let's look at a menu. Let's look at some forks and spoons. And maybe all you ever ate off was plastic, which is okay. When we at home, we ain't washing no dishes, we eating off plastic. But when I want to take you somewhere, when I want to introduce you to some things that you've never seen or some places that you've never been, I want you to be at your best, not to feel like I'm trying to say something negative. I just want you to be always present yourself at your best. And that should come in conversations. We have to understand that we come from different backgrounds. We come from different backgrounds. When you meet people, you might run into somebody from wherever, and you meet people that came from a certain place, but they, taking the initiative to up themselves, or to make themselves better, or to learn, or to be different than, not be a product of their environment and all that kind of stuff. So you're gonna meet people from different backgrounds, and it's not about you have to teach somebody everything, or I need to show you everything. It's not about that. That's an opportunity, like you said, to create something special. To create, there were some things like Jay been around the world. I've been some places, but I ain't been around the world. So it's just in the conversation, like, you know what, I'm okay with that. I want to go with you and I want you to take me there. So I'm okay with listening. I'm okay with you showing me what I need to know about over here and what I need to know about over there. In that's our place of, when we're in our place of peace, we can have those conversations. Like I said, when you get to the point where you're both of his pieces, there's no feeling any type of way about that, because like I said, we are at our best in the bedroom and we're at our best in the public. So it's like, you have to be willing. It's a willingness when you come together with somebody else. No one person knows everything. You learn from each other. You take things from each other. Somebody has experienced something that you have not, and there's something that they can share with you that you'll pick up things from. It's a give and a take.
We two country people, barbecue, chicken, and fish in that order. Spaghetti is on the side.
It's on the side. You better know it.
And it's okay with that. Here's the thing. You said it. We know where we going. That means conversations have been had, intentional conversations about what we like, right? Don't get me wrong. Cliff, I love a couple of good old whole catfish now. I love them straight out the grease now. You have to have opportunities presented to learn each other. If you're learning each other in the home, if you're learning each other after hours, there's only certain things that you are observing. There's only certain things that you get. You have to create the time, the mode, and the opportunity. I was happy to take her in public. I wanted to see what she do in public. I want to see how she moves. I'm good. I've been in the public pretty much all my life. Ever since I can remember in oratorical contests. So I get it. But for me, that was important. Jay likes to go. The type of business I'm in, Jay's always at somebody's dinner. Jay's always invited to hang out with the mayor and hang out with the city council and hang out with the county commissioner. I need to know, we got to go. And I need to know that you can handle yourself accordingly. If we never give the opportunity, then we can't grow. If all we're doing is answering the phone for the booty call at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, what else are we learning about each other? We're not learning a thing. What we're learning is this is all that we get, right? She's so busy. I can't call at 8 o'clock. She's dropping the kids off. I can't call at 5 o'clock. She's picking them up. I can't go over there later because she got to take them to practice. Well, then get up off your butt and go to practice. Sometimes you have to take the opportunity, men, and become vulnerable. But understand that becoming vulnerable, you're coming with a purpose. Come with a purpose. Don't be vulnerable with no purpose. Be vulnerable with a purpose. Understand that I let my guard down to see this lady at her soccer practice for her son. Know how to depart yourself in public. as we West Indians say, amen. We got to get to a place to where it's okay to have this dialogue. It is not okay to just be a piece, as in a side piece or a piece of tail. Again, if you've had that intentional conversation and that's the route you want to take, then there should be no complaints. Hey, Leah, there should be no complaints because that's what you chose to do. But for us who on this live that are looking at building something meaningful, that are looking at finding our mate that's going to situate us and take us to a next level, this conversation is for you. This conversation is about building and doing better. Men, state what you're looking for. State what it is that you want out of a woman. I'm West Indian. All right. What am I saying? Amen. What?
That's the part
Go
that we
ahead.
always talk about, and be intentional in
Hmm.
your conversation. These are the things that you find out when you are intentional in your conversation. When we get beyond finding out what your favorite color is, when we get beyond finding out what your favorite food is, those are things that are going to come naturally. All you
Hmm.
have to do is pay attention to the person. You will find those things out, but you have to ask questions that are going to lead to you having peace, because you already know, like we said last week, so sometimes you have to say things that will minimize the friction, that will minimize
Hmm.
the arguments and the disagreements. There, be intentional in the things that you say. Be intentional in the things that you ask for. Be intentional in the things that you say you need. We're so far over having generic conversations. That's why we keep bouncing from person to person. That's why we keep ending up in a situation that you didn't want to be in. That's why you keep being by yourself after you've been through all this with him, her, and her. Ask questions that are going to get you the answers, and if they don't, then you know that's not where you're supposed to be. We all know that sometimes we stay in places that we're not supposed to be, and there can't be any peace in a place that's not where you're supposed to be. There's always going to be something that's not going to allow you to have peace, because that's not where you're supposed to be. You haven't had the conversations to establish the foundation, and we all know if the foundation ain't right, then whatever's sitting on top of it gonna fall off. It's gonna fall over. It's gonna crack. It's gonna do all of those things. Have the conversations that are going to lead to you not only being a side piece, but we know there are people that they choose. That's all they want to be, and they're fine with it. But we're talking about the people that don't want to be that, and you want something more meaningful in your life. Have the conversation. Like you said, who can I talk to you when I'm going through something? Are you going to be there for me when I'm going through something? Can I call you at 5 p.m. as soon as you get off work, not after midnight? I need to know some things about you that say, hey, yeah, I'm the one.
Hmm.
Count on me. Lean on me. I'm here. But we've done some work. We've put in some work. It's work in finding the person that is for you. Like we've told everybody that's been following us for a while. We did the first year long distance. There was some work put into that. We had to have conversations on everything because we were 12 hours apart. So we had to be at peace with knowing or accepting that, okay, everything is all right. The first year, we had our issues. It was rough the first year because we were two different people from two different places coming out of situations where we had to figure out how to get this foundation solid.
Hmm.
And there was, like I said, we had some issues, but there was some work done because we sat down and said, if this is what we want, and if this is what we want moving forward, then this is what's going to happen. We got to build this foundation on concrete. We ain't talking about sitting in on no sand and it just fall after we've done all this and it just sink and go away. So there has to be some conversations. There have to be some things that you say. And if that person can't accept that, then guess what? It's time for you to just move on. But don't jeopardize your peace. Don't sacrifice your peace for a piece. We all know, man, that was the best y'all had in my life. I ain't never had nothing that good. And we'll give up. Like I said, we'll give up all of our power for a good piece. We'll give up all of our peace. We running around like a chicken with your head cut off all day and all night, trying to get to that piece or waiting for that piece to call you at midnight. You've given up everything. You've given up your calm. Everything in your world is upside down. It's hurried. It's rushed. There's never a moment for you to just sit down and relax your mind, relax your body and your soul, because you're too busy worried about this peace that's gonna call you at midnight.
And so then it gets even better. So we've done all of the bashing. We've talked about the things you don't do. Well, let's talk about what happens when you get the peace that you're looking for. When you talk about the peace, where you're able to come home and have those conversations or pick up and call, where you're able to go out and relate and release from the week's hard work week that you had ahead. Start bringing up my past life and battle. We gotta get ain't no peace worth going bald. Just keep looking. Here it is. When you get that peace, though, you have to be intentional and you have to continue to nurture that peace. Right? A lot of times we just want to get to that point, Lord. We just want to get to that point. We laugh all the time back when we was drinking. Cliff know what I'm talking about when you was drinking that cheap liquor, and that cheap liquor wasn't good for you, and you end up throwing up. And every time we was throwing up, what would we say? Lord, I promise I ain't gonna drink that stuff no more, Lord. Just get me through this. I ain't gonna drink that Everclear no more, Lord. I'm not gonna drink that Tanqueray, Lord. At some point, there has to be action. The action has to be when you go in the store, don't buy what you said that you wasn't gonna buy. You had to pray. We call it praying to the porcelain god, because you was down there letting it all out and saying, hugging the toilet and talking about what you're gonna do, what you're not gonna do. Just give me one more chance, Lord. Just let me make it through this episode. I promise you, I won't drink that Seagram's gin again. I promise you. But you have to put in the work. What did that mean? That means Cliff and I, we had to figure out what alcohols we could drink, because that half a gallon for $6 didn't work for us. So we had to figure out that we had to buy a $13 bottle of alcohol. And we could drink that whole bottle and feel okay. Get up and go to class the next morning like nothing happened. Be in church with shades on, service end real quick. Amen. So there's a process to learning. There's also a process to nurturing your peace, P-E-A-C-E. When you have achieved the peace, then the real work begins, because you do everything that you can do to protect the peace, right? That means that you are protecting whatever peace you get. You don't want anybody to come between that. Now, this is where it hits home to the man, because the man, once we can finally get in a relationship and got some peace, we don't want nothing to bother nothing. I work in the field where most of the people I work with, I would say 89, 90% of them are women. Mr. Baker, let me give you my phone number. No, ma'am, you can't give me your phone number. What you can do, though, is take this number down and call my wife. She can service you and give you everything that you need. Baby, why you always sending them to me? I don't want no problems. I'm protecting my peace. Ain't nobody gonna say they butt down me, they accidentally called me, or they sent me a text, because you're not getting my number. If you want to get in contact with me and you're a single female, for the most part, if you're a female at all, 1849. Right, my brother? Make this work for us. 1849. I ain't gonna give you the rest of her number on live. 1849. I don't need the problem. Right? I don't need the problem. I'm able to come home. I'm able to relax. 2 years ago, somebody told me, you ain't never smoking in my house. I wore it down. Now I do the things to keep me in here. We're gonna keep some air purifiers in here. We're gonna keep the window open, the door open. I'm gonna sanitize, I'm gonna spray, I'm gonna do whatever I got to, so we don't smell no smoke, because I'm gonna nurture the fact that I got the ability to smoke in the house. I used to laugh at the people who would go outside at 20 degrees and stand behind that cigarette. And I'd be like, really? 5 of y'all, and y'all think them cigarettes gonna keep you warm? Don't take things for granted. Work hard. Nurture it. Keep it where you want it. Make it progress. A lot of times when we get to the mountain, we think the work is done. We've climbed the mountain. Miss B let me in. She gave me keys to the house. Now Miss B done made me pay a couple of bills before I got there, but that's okay. But I'm there. But that's not the end of it. You have to do the things that got you there in order to do what? To keep you there. Hello. Do the things that got you there in order to do what? keep them. So men, state what your purpose is. State what you're looking for. Call it like I see it. Tasha, look here. Say what you got. Yes, sir. You gotta pay what you weigh. With me be, I'm in trouble. I'm bankrupt. You know, because I ain't no little boy around here. Ain't no little boy around these parts. Now, don't come with no little change. But we got to do what we do. You got to look at your significant other. You got to look at the person that you're trying to date, marry, and you got to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for out of life. I'm looking for a place where I don't worry about how my bills are getting paid. I'm looking for a place where the two of us are saving money and building the future, right? I'm looking for a place where you're encouraging me to keep doing stuff, even though I know I don't want to do it, but you say I got a natural talent for it. This is what we're looking for. But in order to get there, you got to work. And you got to be intentional. And you got to tell your significant other too. This is what I need. This is what I'm looking. This is where people mess up at. Stop doing what you did to get the person.
Baby,
keep it going.
You
there it is. There it is.
After you get them, you gotta do more. That's when the real work begins. Is when you get them. You did certain things up to the point to get them, but after you get them, there's so much more that comes with that because there is a level of maintenance. We've talked about maintenance. Levels to maintenance. Mm-hmm. It costs to maintain. We talked about that in other lives. The cost of maintenance on your car, the cost of maintenance on your house. It costs to keep it. There are levels to it, and you have to work. You have to be conscious of the things that you are doing, the things that you're not doing, the things that you used to do, the things that you stopped doing. You have to be conscious of all of those things. Work. Like I said, and for the ones that are married or want to be married, baby, once you get married, that's not the end of it. To just say I'm married, hey, to just say I'm married, that's not the end. Once you say I do means I do. It's time to go to work. It's time to put in the work. Once you get married, it's time for I need the encouragement. It's time for somebody to see me at my best and my worst, and I know you still gonna be there. It's time for somebody to see me when I'm sick and when I'm healthy, and you still gonna be there. It's time for us to do this together. It's time for us to build, work for the things that we want together. It's time for us to go places, do things that we want to do together. All of that requires work. Getting married is just the beginning. There's some things that go into it before you get married, but once you get married, there's a whole lot more that get to keeping it, to staying married. Not just getting married, but staying married. It takes work to stay married. There are going to be days where I don't like you. I love you enough to put in the work to stay here. I love you enough to choose you every day, but there are going to be some days that I don't like you. It's okay. I still love you. I still choose you every single day. You are the one that I choose. All of that came in the working. And it has to be a us thing always. It's us.
It has to be that. And ladies and gentlemen, when you make it and you bought all of these things, don't fall into the old MK syndrome. You know, people used to say that the gateway drug was marijuana. If you tried marijuana, you're going to end up trying cocaine. If you tried cocaine, you're going to end up trying. So it was the gateway. Well, I used to say a couple of years ago, if any of you was following me on my Facebook page, around September, I would start posting, men, don't buy no MK bags for Christmas. Men, we boycotting MK. We boycotting MK. Why are we boycotting MK? Because it was the gateway. Every woman wanted an MK. So you went and bought an MK bag and it was reasonably priced. But what happened after you bought the MK bag? Everybody started caring. And then the person that you bought it for, regardless of your status or your ability to elevate them, decided that they didn't want MK. They want Louis. They want Gucci. If you ain't got Louis and Gucci money, you got to stick with who? MK. Now, if you bought your own, good. Now, Johnson, I ain't talking about one. I'm talking about when men are pouring into women and women, because I got a woman that pour into me. I got.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. A series of LB bags, a series of Gucci bags, a series of MK bags. I'm a man bag carrier. I carry man bags. And you ain't going to make me stop. But if that's not what that individual can afford, you don't move to the next level until your partner is able to take you to the next level. You can't get mad because in 2019 he was buying you MKs and he still only has the ability to buy MKs in 2020. You got to graduate and appreciate. You have to appreciate till you graduate. Give that man the opportunity to level up. That's the word y'all ladies like to use. I will level up. Well, give him the opportunity to level up because you didn't level up. You didn't say at Monday night you was gonna level up and then leveled up on Tuesday morning. It didn't come that fast. And if some of you on here saying you did, I'm gonna challenge you now. I'm gonna challenge you, call you. Ms. B put up that lies. Sometimes you have to appreciate until people can get you to the next level. Tasha got to be happy with them MK. Then old Cliff got a little raise and bought a little Louis, and Tasha carried that Louis for a while till one of her girlfriends she saw Gucci come up on. Then she had to carry that Lucha though until we can afford the Gucci, and then all the rest of it. Appreciate before you graduate. That gets people. That is a bond between people. That is a bond. Now, if you the baller, you start off at the high. Go ahead and get what's the purse? The black one, the snow one. I told you I wanted to get you the little bit of thing. If you start off at the Birkin bag, then you good. There's levels. If you're a bag person, you know there's series of Birkin bags. Maybe he can't afford it. He just waiting on you to realize what you got. That could. Hey, some men play that role, and some men play it very well.
And some people that's not even important to them anyway. They really don't. That's just they don't care. But it's always a level of appreciation versus expectation.
Mm-hmm.
If you appreciate him going to MK and getting you the MK versus expecting him to go to the Louis store and get you a Louis, then that's a whole different dynamic. That's a whole different thing. Appreciation versus expectation. Appreciation will get you farther than you could ever imagine if you appreciate the things that are done for you, if you appreciate the words that are said to you, if you appreciate everything, the good stuff that is poured into you, that you'll be okay. You'll be at peace. You'll be okay. Like I said, it becomes a we thing. It becomes a whatever you need, I got you. It becomes when you're having a bad day, you know I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest fan. Like I always say, you go out into the world, you get beat down by the world. When you come home, that should be your place of peace. All the stuff that you dealt with during the course of a day outside of your doors to your house, it should not be the same inside your house. You shouldn't come home to have to deal with the same stuff that the world gave you. There should be peace with yourself when you walk in and you say, I'm done with that until tomorrow. That means pour you a glass of wine, run you a pot bath, whatever that means. Sit down and have a conversation with each other. Just get it out, let it go. But there should not be this hoorah, this loud, this arguing, this fussing, this you didn't do this, you didn't do that. When you come home, give me a second. Maybe I forgot. We do forget stuff. We forget to do stuff, even though somebody asked you to do it. I meant to do it. I just forgot. Give me that grace. Give me that grace for that moment for whatever it is that I forgot to do. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about whatever it is that's heavy on your shoulders. I'm the one that's supposed to help you carry that. I'm the one that's supposed to make that load easier for you. I'm the one that's supposed to cheer you on for everything that you think you can do and you want to do, whether you can or can't. I'm gonna say go for it. Do it. Baby, what do you think? Baby, do it. If it's on your mind, go do it. Attempt it. Give it all you got. Lace up your bootstraps and let's go. Whatever you need me to be in that moment, that's what I'm willing to be. Like I said, I'm your peace and your peace. If that's what you need when you get home, then guess what? That's what you get when you get home. If you just need to sit down for a second and smoke you a cigar and have you a glass of bourbon, hey, that's your moment. Have that. I'm not. Like I said, I'm here. Like we talk, just gonna keep it 100. I'm here to make it hard, not your life hard. I'm both of them.
What was the boop?
I'm both of them. I'm here to make it hard, not your life. Not your life. If I've allowed you into my space, if I've committed myself to you, if I've given you everything that I have to give and you've done the same, this is your space of calm. This is if you need to walk outside and do whatever, just walk outside. But when you come home from all that the world gives you during the course of a day, and for most people that have a job outside of home, you deal with the stresses of, it's easy to take on other people's stuff, even when you don't realize it. You having conversations with people and they dumping all their stuff on you.
Yes.
You having conversations and people dumping all their stuff on you. You don't realize how much stuff you taking in. Your shoulders heavy and you don't even know why. You taking on other people's stuff. When you come home, I need you to let that go. I need you to lay all that down. I need you to just sit down and have a conversation with me, or I need to fix you some food, or we need to go get some food, or like I said, you can have your cigar and your drink. Just relax. Just relax. Home should be relaxing. It should be peaceful. Everything nothing's perfect. We don't expect it to be perfect, but for the majority of the time, I expect it to be peaceful. I expect for us to just be able have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Whatever you need, whatever I need, I ask you for what I need. You ask me for what I need, and we go from there. Sometimes we have to simplify life, especially inside of our homes. There are things that go on in the world that we can't control. But what goes on in your house, you can control what goes on in your house. The things that you allow in your house is what you allow. If you don't allow it, then it won't be there. Let me be both. However, whenever you need that, let me be that. If we have done all the work to be in the same space, if we have done all the work to give each other everything that we need, if I have told you what I need, what I want, what I desire, whatever, and we have agreed to that, Now let's put in the work to make sure we get there and we maintain that. Because if you don't maintain it, then it's easy to fall back to everything that what was it for if you don't maintain it? Why would you buy a brand new car and you don't get the oil change? Why would you get a car and you don't do the maintenance on the car? Guess what's going to happen to that car if you don't do the maintenance on it? You're going to be riding around on some tires that's going to get you killed. Your motor going to lock up. You got to do maintenance. It's maintenance. Put in some work. What's that?
Saying the mouth full. Speak the truth.
It is.
There's no other way to put it. Conversations around what you desire and what you're looking for. Don't set the table, for one, if you're trying to get two. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Don't set the table, for one. And if legs begin to rise, you get it all along with that piece. Oh, I'm going to change. Oh, there you go. When you set the plate and it is the table and it's the two of you, there's nothing that either one of you won't do.
Absolutely.
The point is, are you going to set the table? And you don't set the table for one. You set the table for two. You set the table, not as in food wise, but as in these conversations are intentional about me having a relationship and moving forward and being successful. It is not about an entanglement, situationship, all of that. Set the table for two. That's where your focus is. That is where your goal is. Your goal is to become one. Now, understand what a goal to becoming one, and that one we're talking about is marriage. Some people may not even get married. I know people have been together 20 years. Marriage may not be for everyone. Some of you gonna in your mind saying, "Oh, that's shacking up." At some point, we're literally talking about having a peace of calmness, a peace of mind, and being in a relationship that works for you. We've talked about marriage certificates and how signing the certificate and putting it on the wall like they used to do back in the day meant something. And now some of these youngsters and these youngins believe that when you sign the piece of paper, somebody owns somebody because you're married. As quick as that piece of paper came, why didn't we do this at the cabin? They didn't ask, Keisha. They didn't ask.
We're going to come to South Carolina. We'll be down there. We'll be down there.
When you set the table for two and you do that, it's about recognize real at that point. All my assets and everything on the table, all yours is on the table. Hey, you may end up on the table, you know.
It's me that get devoured.
Asking you to get devoured.
Hours and hours.
And divide right there every night, you know.
Hours and hours.
I don't know. There's something about that song I don't like, but we'll talk about that. Because you ain't hours and hours. You ain't on hours and hours. You ain't doing it hours and hours. Stop lying. They lying out there, Ms. B. They ain't doing no hours and hours. With Ms. B went and already talked about that. I want it all night long. No, you don't, because you ain't up long enough to get it all night long.
We're gonna be all
right. Hey, see, there it is.
Give me the good 5 minutes and we're gonna be all right.
We'll bring back the quickie.
That happens when you both pieces.
When you both pieces.
Give me the quick 5 minutes and then you gonna be at peace because I'm going to see
you. Sometimes things gotta work for your favor.
Absolutely.
It has to be a point, guys, where we're at the table and you set the table for two. And the two is a partnership. Right? The two is that, right? A whole lot. More like 20 minutes and 20 minutes. There you go, man. That's all night right there. Because you got 20 minutes when you sleep, woke up, did 20 minutes again. There you go. That's all night. We got to get to a point to where setting the table is normal. Having these conversations is normal. Keisha made a good point. We probably should have had a real talk at the cabin. Keisha, we're gonna put that. We come to South Carolina. Because I remember somebody scheduled it every other weekend. So, and they told me they had a room we could come hang out at. So, you know, unless they get amnesia, we're going to take them up on that offer. But we got to get to a point to where it's okay to have very focused conversations.
We gotta normalize. We gotta get back. So many things are you know we'll be there. We have to get back to normalizing things that don't cause so much stress and that don't cause so much, you know, anxiety, that doesn't cause so many arguments, so many, and some of those things are so simple, but we've gotten so far away from them. Reality TV has ruined a lot of people, which ain't nothing real about that, but that facade has ruined a lot of people. It's just we have to normalize things that make our lives easier. What works for you? What worked for them people? Them people got money or whatever they got, or they doing it for what? That doesn't work for you. Mimicking people's stuff that don't work for you is a waste of your time. You have to find your place. You have to find what works for you, what benefits you. If it doesn't benefit you, then let it go. Leave it alone if it doesn't benefit you. But when you get into a space, a good space, then it's easy to figure out what works for the both of you. When you're in a good space, it's easy to just see that, okay, something ain't right with you. What's wrong with you today? What happened? Whatever. You recognize things. You pick up, sometimes you don't even have to have the long drawn out conversations. You just automatically know. And like I said, to have somebody that's going to be there for you at your best, at your worst, at your highest, at your lowest. I just need to know that you're going to be there. That's my peace of mind.
I'm coming to South Carolina with the live audience. We in there. Well, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. We in there. So I think as this hour goes by fast. Couple of things. always, please, when you come in the room, please like, click, and share. We want to get this out to so many people. We are amazed at the people that we talk to that watch the show. We met a couple this weekend who watched the show. Hey, Tasha, who watched the show for the first time. We told them about it. I think they went in the room, looked at a couple of episodes, and then came back out to make sure it was real. This is who we are. We're Real Talk with K and J. This is what we do. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like, click, share.
Make sure you turn your notifications on.
Please turn your notifications on. We do try to send them out, but as you tune in and Miss B sends out the alert, those things will then start to pop up. Go to our Facebook page, Real Talk with K and J. That's where we need you to like, click, share, and turn your notifications on. Now, we are streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the present moment. So we're some of everywhere, trying to do some of everything for some of everybody. It's a wonderful place to be. I'm glad to see some of my friends from this weekend that tuned on that we talked about. Once again, Cliff, MVSU is always welcome.
And we want to make sure to let you guys know that we are always open for suggestions for topics. If it's anything that you want us to talk about, we just send me a quick message. If you're my friend on Facebook,
we're on Twitter as well. Twitter. We tweet. We come on tweet.
Send a quick message to the page. Send me a message. Like I said, we are open. If you've been following us, we are well over a year into this thing, and we've talked about everything from A to Z. There are definitely some things that we will revisit. If it's something that you want to ask us, if it's a topic that you want to suggest that we talk about, it's real talk. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off the table. Just send me a quick message, and we'll get it going. We'll get it going. Like I said, send the message to Real Talk with K and J. If you're my friend, send me a message, and we'll talk about it. This is who we are, what we do, and if it's something that you want, if it's something that you want us to address, something that, just send me a message. Send me a message, and we here for it.
This is what we do. We're here every Wednesday, 7:30 to 8:30. I know it goes by fast. That's why we said turn your notifications on. I have some people who've actually put it on their calendar invite, so it pops up 30 minutes before the show comes on, so they can try to get to a point where they're watching it. I know some viewers that have their kids watching it. One of them is 18. I think the other one is 22, 23 by now. But we have some young viewers too. So we have some mothers and fathers who have their children watching this show as well. We're open to talk about anything, and we want to make this show work for you. Our story is our story. We're just sharing it with the world, and it's okay. We don't have any problem doing it. Once again, this is Real Talk with K and J. We love it. We love what we do. Keep tuning in. Keep liking. Keep clicking. Keep sharing. Real Talk with K and J. I am Jay, aka the dog.
K, aka Cat.
And we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.